Good morning. We're off on another adventure today. This is another in my series of puzzle hauls. As I promised my wife, this is the very last one, so it's going to be a good one, so come along. So I have a few puzzles to take with me today. These ones are going along to be traded away for some new ones. Get these in the car. These are 3 1,500-piece puzzles and 1 5,000. So, even though we're bringing more home, we are taking a few away. I'm back home. Made it back home. Sorry I never took any video of the day. I meant to do a whole stream of videotaping while we went to the city to pick up puzzles, but what I will do is I'll show you what I got for puzzles. And here's the back seat of my car. And we open up the back of the car. What's in here? I think you're gonna, I don't know how good the lighting is here, but you can see we have a trunk full and a back seat full of puzzles. Not sure how many, I'll have to do a count. Get them inside and we'll do some more taping and see what we got here. Okay, I've been a little lazy lately since I got back from the city and haven't even unloaded my puzzles from my car yet. A couple days have gone by. So, got to get it unloaded. Got to go get some groceries today, so let's see what we got. Oh yes, lots of puzzles, lots and lots of puzzles. Okay, because my house has a walkout basement, it's just as easy for me to do these and walk around the house as opposed to going inside and carrying them down the stairs. Okay, now that we've got the puzzles all inside, it's probably time to take a closer look. Before I sort of look at this large pile, I want to kind of go through the process I went through when we went to town. We went there at let's see how many stops. I had 5 stops I needed to make. So we'll go through it stop by stop and I'll explain to you what I did. My first stop was to pick up this puzzle here, a 3,000-piece Ejica. Looks like a picture of Amsterdam. Bikes are a bit of a giveaway, but I'm not sure if it is for sure or not. But usually if you want people to know it's Amsterdam, you put a bike in a picture. So anyway, I had bought this one last year, but just never got around to picking it up. So we stopped and picked that one up. My second stop was from another lady who was holding this puzzle for me. I bought this from a good friend of mine as she was packing up to move to Europe, and she had to downsize. The odd part was she had bought this and ordered it from Europe, brought it to Canada. Before she had a chance to do it, she had to move, and she didn't want to part with it, but once she decided she had to, well, I purchased it from her, but never picked it up. This was a trade. These two here were these two 1500s. I think I showed you earlier the two 1500s that I had. I traded for these two. Two weren't actually new purchases as they were trades. Well, new to me, but They didn't add to my collection, they just replaced a couple of older ones. Then this pile here, these three here, I then went from this stop here and went to Puzzles Canada, where I met with a friend there who was coming to shop, and she traded me these three. This was the big one I was after. She's been holding this one for me for, I think, 2 years. I traded her my 5,000 piece Under the Sea Ravensburger in exchange for this one. I gave her another 1,500, and she gave me these two 1,000s in exchange. Since I was at Puzzles Canada, I actually went to Puzzles Canada to meet with the owner. I think all of my viewers, or most of my viewers, will recognize this puzzle, as this is Karen's Puzzles' first creation. I wanted it for a while, so it was on the shelf there, and I went there to meet with the owner on a different matter, but once I was there, I kind of felt compelled to buy some puzzles, so I bought that one, as well as this one called Flora Heart. There's something very special happening with this one, so you're going to need to stay tuned to my channel, but this one is going to turn into something very big and exciting. Then my last stop was to pick up the remainder of these puzzles. These all came from one place. I have a very good friend who goes through a lot of puzzles. This person is responsible for a couple of my other large haul videos, and we organized this one to help her clear out some of her puzzles, as she said she had too many. But I had to tell her that I can't do it anymore. My collection's getting way too large. So we'll see if I can stick to that. But what I'll do now is just kind of sort these a little better, and then we'll go through them a bit just to give you an idea of what's in here. Okay, time to take a closer look. Let's go through them and see. This first pile here, these are Ravensburgers, but they're all the small box ones, which is something I really like, and I will probably keep these because these make sense for me to take to Thailand because of the size of the box. The odd part about that is that look at, they're called My Cozy Place, and yet if I look at these here, and if I go over here to my wife's collection here, in her large format pieces, and what do we find? The same picture in a 500 piece in a large format. So I think there's a couple of them that match actually, but that's fine. So there's three in My Cozy Place. They all do look very nice places to be. This one I know I have in a 500 piece. I think a 750 large piece Ravensburger puzzle. I have that one. This is my kind of scene. I love these kind of scenes. I did one like this last year or a couple of years ago in Thailand. Really enjoyed it. This one here, wine labels. Not one I would buy on my own, but you know what? It comes with the package, so that's what we got. Then we've got the big pile of Ravensburgers here. Here's one that Tom and Jerry comic. I'm not really a fan of cartoon puzzles. I don't buy a lot of them really. But this one here looks by the seaside. As you can see, this here, very similar to, I think, one of the other ones we had over here. So I like that picture. That's nice. This one here looks like a nice little coffee shop somewhere. I'm not sure that I'm not going to go through them. Called Quaint Cafe. I'm not going to go through the names on them all. Too hard to look them up. This one here looks like a Jan van Hasteren. I can't quite read that name, but I'm assuming that's who the artist is on this one. But interesting puzzle. Should be fun to do. Here we have a painting series. Or, no, it looks like what the heck? Not sure what it is. Either way. It's similar to one I did a while back, this kind of theme. I've never done a Ravensburger in this theme, but looking forward to that. And we have a second one here by this Varus, I think that name is, Cities of the World, Amsterdam. So there's another Amsterdam puzzle. I'm assuming this is to be a depiction of Moscow with that building there, so it's a nice picture. I always like pictures of the Golden Gate Bridge. I am a fan of scenery, so I like that. Here we have a nice cream parlor. And if you look at this, it might look familiar. That is because, well, over in this pile here, we find the same puzzle. Not realizing it was in the big collection, I made a trade for it in one of the earlier trades. So now I have 2 copies. That's not too bad. I'll probably do one up. The other one I'll probably take to Thailand is my daughter-in-law in Thailand loves animal puzzles, so I'll take that one to Thailand for her. And we have a couple stacks of Eurographics here. I really like these kind of pictures and styles. This one's French Walkway. This is a nice one. It's an escape puzzle, Eurographics. It's all on the Muskoka region. Where I live, just outside of Midland, Ontario, we are on Georgian Bay, and we are a short drive to Bracebridge, Huntsville, and Lake Muskoka. So this will be interesting to do, actually. I'm not sure. There's artwork by local artists. Well, that makes sense. Old Town Living. It's kind of a nice picture. Lots of flowers, busy. I like this. Big Bay Lighthouse. Machu Picchu. Here we have Yoho National Park, British Columbia, my home province. And a Toronto skyline. And one of Toronto City Hall. The Spring Sakura. This one obviously in Japan with the cherry blossoms. Very beautiful. Lots of reds. Okay, Route 66. I think I've done one of these or one similar to that a while back. What do we have here? Chinese calendar. So, yeah, that's interesting. Asian lanterns. I've done some somewhat similar. I've done Asian umbrellas, but not Asian lanterns. Sushi table. Travel suitcases. Greatest ever bookshop in the world. I have done this picture in a different with a different company or something very similar with the bike and the sign in front. So I've done one similar to that before. But if you look here, you can see that's a bit of a reoccurring theme in some of these companies. This one's Cupcake Company. Here we have the Irish Pub. And then here we have a Red Hat Restaurant. All Eurographics. And then one small box Eurographic. That's a very nice picture, actually, called Harmony. Here I have a Haya puzzle. What's this one called? Funky Zoo. It says to be continued, so I'm assuming there's others in the series. I had mentioned Jan van Hasteren earlier. His puzzles are made by Jumbo, and we have 2 of them here. Then this one here is, what is this? This is a Gibson called I Love Pets. I think I have one in my cabinet over there. I Love Winter, which is odd because I don't love winter. Speaking of Gibsons, we have a few more. This one is by Steve Crisp. And another one, Liverpool Docks. That one is Steep Hill. And then we have Clock Tower Market by Trevor Mitchell. Looks like the same artist, but different. But I do like the Gibson puzzles. Some White Mountains. White Mountains, the pieces are quite large. They're a little larger than I would like, but that's fine. I don't mind doing them. Apple cider. country store. I like these kind of pictures. There's lots there. They're fun to do, and they're not very difficult. An afternoon walk. And then here again with another company. Here's that same theme with the pizza parlor. Here we have 4 Schmidt puzzles. And these ones are, pardon my pronunciation, but an Orléans Villette. And the artist is, yeah, that's the artist name, Orléans Villette. Villette, probably, L's are probably silent. Anyway, these are very stunning and beautiful. So I have 4 in this series. I really like this one here. These will be fun to do. Yeah, they're very beautiful. I've done Schmidt before. They fit together very well. They're a very nice puzzle. And then we have another Jigsaw, 1500. I'm guessing this is Holland again. This one's going to be a tough one, but it's not too big. This one here is an Antillean. This company, I believe, is from Turkey, actually. I've been wanting to do one of theirs for quite a while. This wouldn't be one that I would buy in cars, but that's okay. I'm excited to try that anyway. Here we have a truffle. I'm a big fan of elephants, as I live half the year in Thailand and love elephants, so I'm excited about that one. This one here is called Art Puzzle. This is really quite a beautiful picture. I'm actually very excited to do this one and see what this will look like complete. It's a very nice picture. Here we have a Falcon Christmas puzzle. I think you put that one aside for this time of year. And here we have a 2-in-1 Falcon puzzle, which gives me 2 1,000 piece puzzles in one box. Looks like from the same artist, Flora Osbaldstone. And then we have this one here, House and Garden, Sleigh Ride. Now, if you remember back, I did a video a while back where I did a puzzle contest for some friends. This was the puzzle we used in that one. I have not done it. I have the times of the other 10 people who did it, so now here's my chance to see how I would have done if I were in that competition. Excited to do that. Cobble Hill, like Cobble Hill puzzles, good Canadian company. The pickup truck. And then this one here is Café de Paris. This was the second puzzle competition we did while I was in Thailand. I managed it, I monitored it, I set it up, I chose this puzzle, and I have the times. We had 40 people in that competition, so now I have the chance to see how I fare up against the 40. I shall do it myself and time myself. This one, Beko Puzzles. It's a very nice box, nice feel, nice picture. I opened it up earlier. It has the letters on the back, which is not something I'm fond of, but I don't pay attention to them anyway. Betterco. I like the Betterco puzzles. I've had some of them before. I like the feel of the pieces in the box. They're a nice puzzle. Here we have a couple of pomegranates. We have some bears and some vegetables. And then this looks to be a Charlie Harper, which it is. Okay, that takes me through these piles. So now let's pull out the small box puzzles and see what we got. Okay, the small box puzzles. Most of these are buffaloes with a couple dowdles there. This stack here are all Charles Wysocki. I know my friend, she does like those. I do too, actually. They're quite colorful. The pictures are not tough, and they're enjoyable to do. So as you can see, there's certainly a theme in his artwork. I've done a few already, so we've got, they say we have a number of them here. I don't know what the names are. I'm not going to look them up at this point in time. He does tend to like his American flags. You usually seem to find one in every picture somewhere. This one here is a Daryl Bush. I've done some of his before. He really focuses on those sort of country scenes. And I have a couple of Amy Stewart's here. I know there's a lot of people who are big fans of hers. I find them all right. Country Life. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the Country Life series. One from their Vivid collection, something very similar in what they call a signature collection, and then 2 marked Stargazing. Here we have one with some birds, Hotman Brothers it says, another Vivid collection, Dogs Rule, and Escapes, a picture of Paris. A couple of Dowdle puzzles, this one here called Painting the Town, and this one's Buckingham Palace. Then we have a couple smaller, this one is, not sure what this is, Going Places, a 300 piece, and then another 300 piece. This one I really like. My daughter-in-law in Saskatchewan is an artist, and this one kind of reminds me somewhat of her art. She does a lot of artwork like that, so I'll be excited to do this one as well. So, what do we got here? Well, we'll have to count up and see how many we ended up with. So, that's the new puzzle haul. So where does that leave us? Well, I counted them up, and it adds up to 116,350 pieces total. I think that should keep me busy for a while. Then, to make matters a little bit worse, so after this trip, my wife was not really impressed with me, so I promised her there would be no more purchasing. This is done. And I have to agree with her. I have to stop. I have enough puzzles. I probably have enough to last me a good 10 years plus to get through them all. But to make matters worse, 2 days later, we were in another town and we stopped. And I stopped into a thrift shop and I found this one for $3 and this 3,000 one for $6. So I couldn't resist. So add those 4,000 pieces to it and we're just over 120,000. So that's the end of this video. And it's the end of my puzzle haul. So if you like this video, you better give me a like. There won't be any more of these. This should be the last in my series of puzzle haul videos, as I have to live up to my word and stop buying puzzles. So if you like this, give me a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe, because as I mentioned earlier, there's some very exciting things coming with this puzzle. There's a big announcement coming out, which should be out in the next video or so. So keep tuned, and this one's really going to be a good one. With that, we'll leave it there and catch you in the next video.